Hello all and welcome to our Relocode UK channel devoted to relocation and life in the United Kingdom. I'm Sophia, a member of the Relocode team, a company specialized in relocating assets and businesses overseas. Today specifically, we will delve into the issues of residing in Great Britain within the framework of laws to evade unforeseen fines and even legal proceedings. In this video, I will share a series of unexpected laws of the country that I would like to know before my first visit to Great Britain. Let's talk about ecology. In the United Kingdom, there are enforcement agencies such as local police and environmental protection agencies that monitor compliance with laws in this area and can conduct investigations and enforce legislation regarding environmental violations. Laws that you need to know and comply with in Great Britain regarding the environment include, but are not limited to, the following regulations. Firstly, waste disposal laws. In the United Kingdom, waste sorting is mandatory and plays a crucial role in sustainable waste management and environmental protection. The main principles of waste sorting. Firstly, separate collection. A system of separate waste collection is used, including separate containers or bags for different types of waste. Materials that can be recycled. Materials that can be recycled include paper, cardboard, glass, metal, and plastic. They need to be separated from general waste and disposed of in accordance with the local recycling systems, specifically in a separate bin designated for this purpose. Organic waste, waste that can be composted like food scraps and garden waste, for example. Certain types of paper products have the potential to be separated and composted, or they can be sent for processing at specialized biogas plants. General waste is residue that cannot be recycled or used for composting. Generally, they are usually sent to the landfill and initially placed into the black trash bin as the first step of the disposal process. However, there is a desire to minimize the amount of waste sent to landfills and to promote recycling and reuse. Laws on nature conservation. Keep in mind that in the streets of London, especially in its central part, environmental enforcement officers patrol to ensure order on the streets. Cameras are additionally attached to their uniforms, which record any violations that are occurring on the streets. We have absolutely no doubt that all of our clients and subscribers of our channel are extremely polite individuals who deeply care about the environment. Nevertheless, be careful. Do not litter, throw away cigarette butts, and do not leave any waste on the street, as a quite substantial fine is imposed for this. I will let you in on a secret once I got caught with 80 points. Laws on emissions and pollution. One of the prominent examples is the ULEZ, Ultra-Low Emission Zone. This measure was introduced in London to reduce air pollution and improve the quality of the environment. ULEZ in London is introducing a charge for entering the central zone of London for cars and other vehicles that do not meet specific economic standards. The ULEZ policy is applicable in the central zone of London, encompassing areas that are bounded by the Ring Road and fall within its jurisdiction. The ULEZ zone is designated by distinctive road signs and is subject to a monetary fee. ULEZ covers cars, motorcycles, vans, buses, trucks, and other vehicles. Other vehicles that fail to meet specific environmental standards for emissions as required by regulations. In the event that vehicles do not meet these standards, owners will be obligated to pay a daily fee in order to gain entry into this zone. The fee is typically gathered via an online system, and the quantity is based on the kind of your vehicle and its emissions. The upcoming topic is animals. In addition to nature conservation, there are also restrictions and limitations on animals in this particular location. In the UK, specific dog breeds are prohibited, even as household pets, within the jurisdiction of the United Kingdom. The list includes, for example, pit bulls or Argentine dogos. The full list and all the details on this matter can be found on the official website of the Government UK. It is also worth noting that not all vaccines and chips that are effective, for example, in the territory of the Russian Federation, are recognized in the United Kingdom. It is important to consider before the carting of your four-legged wards. And most importantly, do not forget that the microchip must be implanted either before or during the last vaccination. Additionally, in a very recent development, an official prohibition on keeping primates as pets has been implemented. Let's talk about technological laws. Of course, I cannot fail to mention the digital laws of one of the most technologically advanced points in the world. One of the big advantages of this is the absolute legality of cryptocurrencies. They are recognized as part of the property. At a time when there are fewer and fewer open options for paying foreign accounts, this is a very important opportunity. The government of the United Kingdom is also actively working on increasing cybersecurity. As a result, in recent years, laws have already been introduced and continue to emerge, which are aimed at restricting the activities of major social networks and defining penalties for non-compliance with cybersecurity regulations. Therefore, individual content and resources may be displayed and function very differently in the United Kingdom. The downside is that if the requirements aren't met, the government may seriously consider blocking the social network completely, as it has done before. Another question is the actual implementation of these plans, but nevertheless, the risk is worth considering. The positive side, of course, is a more well-developed and reliable ground for the development of businesses and startups. In addition to cybersecurity, the concept of copyright is highly developed in the United Kingdom. There are patents, copyrights, trademarks, protection of unique designs, and when protecting your projects and companies, there is a real legislative basis and support. As an example, I would like to mention the legislation in the UK that prohibits watching television broadcasts without a valid license or TV license. In other words, the residents of the Misty Albion are required to pay a license fee for watching television broadcasts. The established fee is approximately £150 per year. Taking into account the recent amendments, the English pay for television advertising and watching programs online. The fee is also charged for the utilization of data streams on live internet services, ensuring that users are billed for accessing and using these streams in real time. It cannot be said that all British residents are satisfied with this law on the TV viewing license. The majority of them have a preference for watching their favorite movies and shows online and regard the fee that is required to be paid for BBC services as nothing more than a relic of the past. I am likely to agree with them. The most frequently encountered consequence for failure to pay is a fine of £170 imposed as a monetary penalty. At the same time, according to the legislation of the United Kingdom, there is a possibility to avoid payment when a TV license is not required. A resident of the United Kingdom can opt out. If a homeowner, for example, does not use a television, family members watch shows only on YouTube or with the help of the Netflix service, and residents watch TV programs in catch-up mode, that is, not live broadcasts. Let's discuss everyday problems. Many have heard about renting accommodation in the UK. This is indeed a significant challenge that every immigrant goes through. Due to high demand, especially in London, for renting accommodation, a person without a British passport will need a reference letter from a British guarantor, earning approximately 2.5 times more than the rental cost. He will have to vouch for you and even be prepared to cover your debt in case it arises. Since the task is not easy, people often turn to specialized organizations. In London, there is also the concept of council tax for accommodation, which is worth studying initially to gain a comprehensive understanding. The selected district and the city zone will greatly impact many aspects of daily life. We've discussed renting separately and will share more details soon. You can leave your questions in the comments. Also, please note that it is prohibited to leave furniture items on pedestrian roads or even near trash bins. If you wish to eliminate a large item, you must contact the local council and inquire about the procedure to accomplish this. Often a separate cargo truck arrives to pick up from you the bulky item you no longer need for disposal. Finally, let's discuss general street behavior. Overall, you won't surprise many people here, and freedom of self-expression is noticeable. However, it's important to remember that in the United Kingdom, it is forbidden for ordinary citizens to wear official uniforms, so caution is advised when it comes to costumes on Halloween. Here, convenience of movement is important, especially in the bustling and active London. Hence, there are laws, for instance, prohibiting consciously sliding on icy roads and cutting the queue at metro stations, disrupting the flow. It is difficult to say how strictly this is enforced, but it is generally part of the unwritten rules, like how on metro platforms they always let people exiting the train first before those entering. In stores and at events, you rarely see a crowd instead of a line, everyone waits in order. And of course, we recall that here the traffic is left sided not just for cars but also for pedestrians on walkways. A common cause of confusion in the initial period after moving to foreign countries, but in my experience, you quickly get used to it. Finally, I left some strange laws from the past. I will note that one should be prepared for atypical local laws that have survived to our time. Some of them would be useful to know for those who are moving, especially with children. Among these laws, for example, are prohibitions on flying kites in public, beating rugs on the street, with some sources stating temporary restrictions that this is not allowed before 8 a.m., as well as hanging washed items on lines. And in libraries, for instance, gambling is prohibited as the library is considered a public place. Understandably, such laws may not get as much attention, but in unfavorable circumstances, punishment can be requested for them, along with a corresponding fine. However, these were my top laws, with which personally I was not completely prepared. Share which of them confused you the most, and which, on the contrary, seems quite necessary. And we will continue to monitor all legislative changes and keep you informed about all events happening in the United Kingdom on our channel. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already and come to us for a free consultation if you've already made the decision to move to the United Kingdom. Have a wonderful day, everyone.